Hey y'all, it's your legal bestie, attorney Simone. Come on in this chat. We're going to talk about the hearing update from this week's hearing for Christian Gold and his lovely fiance, Miss Jennifer Williams. Let me know if you can hear me. I am on location in my favorite city in America, which is my other hometown, New Orleans. And if you're having any trouble hearing me, let me know. Come on in here, y'all. Come on in here. Hit that like button as you enter. Now, I know some people are like, oh, you go into the background of the case too much. Sit with me. It's going to take me just a quick second. Now, if you're new to the channel, you know, my website is simoneredwine.com. You can come right here. You can also go to my website and you can purchase my book. It's called Background Checks 101, The Beginner's Guide to Finding Out Who the Heck You're Really Dealing With. You can get that here for $19.99. And you can also scroll up top to the right and click Book or Hire Simone. A lot of people think, oh, attorneys are so expensive, and they can be. It depends on what you need us for. But I have consultations starting as low as $149 for 30 minutes. I handle legal consultations across the nation. And there's a variety of different things that I can help you do legal strategy on. I can't help people that are in the islands. That's a different law. But I do things such as landlord-tenant issues. I've assisted with employer issues, even reviewing severance package letters to negotiate and help you get what you're entitled. Also, I've had people who already have an attorney and they're like, I think I want to fire my lawyer. Can you take my case? Or I think I want to fire my lawyer because this is going on. Anyway, schedule a consult. I'd love to help. You can call my office. If you have any questions about whether we handle those kinds of things, they'll hook you up. All right, getting into this Christian Gold matter. Now, this all started because about 2 months ago on Basketball Wives, there was a clip where Christian Gold was asking Jennifer Williams one of the subscribers, y'all call it dry begging, for $250,000. He was claiming that that's what he needed to pay off his restitution so that they could travel freely. Well, I unveiled that the true restitution was actually only $12,000, that he did not need $250K to pay the restitution. But you know what did cost $250K? Their wedding, allegedly. So we started there. And then I was like, well, what does this man do for a living where, you know, he makes all this money? Online, he listed that he made like 10 million or something. And then he told Carlos King in an interview that he was at, that his net worth was 6 million. I looked up the website and I revealed what appeared to me to be a Ponzi scheme, where you take money from people, telling them that you're investing that money, but you don't do that. You do whatever else you want with it. And then the victims started coming out. So alleged victims began contacting me for weeks now. They still keep coming out, emailing me and letting me know that they believe that they were scammed. Here's what I want to be clear before I go into the most recent hearing. Everyone knows when you invest money, if I have an E-Trade account, among others, I have a Quest IRA account, among others, no matter what you're investing in, it will be a risk. But here's the thing. One risk that I ain't taking with E-Trade is that I give them my money to put in Amazon stock and that they choose to sniff it up their nose, okay? Or that they choose to take my money and go buy themselves a Rolls Royce for their girlfriend. Or that they choose to take my money and go buy a $1,400 sweater that they're then seen in court with, as an example. So for those people who are saying in the chats like, oh, these people, you know, there's a risk with investing money. There is a risk. But one risk you don't have is that someone is going to take your money claiming to invest it and not do so. So anyone out there who has, for example, an E-Trade account, one thing I get every day is a statement of how my account is doing, not how Amazon stock is doing, how my investment in Amazon is doing. And what I'm telling you is those are things that the alleged victims claim that they've never had. They're told how the fund is doing, but they were never given itemized, and many of them have zero proof that their particular funds were invested as they were told the money would be invested. You can look for yourself. I do have a playlist that's it's Christian Gold Basketball Wives playlist. You can see prior videos. There's one video that is a Zoom. Baby, in this video, this is a video that he made to try and get people to give him money. You can see in the video, he's telling people if you give him, I think it's $4,000 this year, that next year it'll be worth $2.25 million. Y'all. So I'm saying that's where that part started. Now fast forward. here's the update on the hearing. Hit that like, guys. Hit that like. So on Monday, Christian Gold was assigned to come into court. The hearing there was a criminal hearing for child abandonment. Under the laws of Georgia, if you do not financially support or visit your child for 30 or more days, the other parent here, the mother, can file for abandonment, which is actually a crime in the state of Georgia. And then therefore they are entitled to, you have to come to court. You have to agree like, okay, I'm going to pay this child support, etc. Now, so this is Christian Gold's child's mother. He has a total of 3 kids. Okay. He has one who he had at age 17. So I'm not sure how that child will be today, but then he has 2 younger ones. He has a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old and a 50-year-old wife. Just putting those numbers out there. One of the most beautiful 50-year-olds I have ever seen in my life. So I'm not doubting, but I'm just saying let's put this in context. We got a 50-year-old wife, a 33-year-old, 32-year-old husband with a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old child that he has not paid any child support or provided any support for since June of 2024. This $200,000 plus wedding that they had in Paris was this past September. So June is when he contacted his child's mom and was like, hey, I ain't got it no more. He had been paying $2,200 a month according to an agreement that he drafted up. He wrote it and he said, this is what I can contribute. And she said, okay. He did it according to that for 4 months. Then at some point in June, he said he ain't got it no more. Now I want to know what happened to that $6 million, boo-boo? Boo-boo, where that $6 million went? You say you worth net worth of $6 million. Now we know net worth doesn't mean liquid cash. Those are not the same. I get you. But in June, he said he couldn't afford his children. In August, he goes on Christian King. He goes on Carlos King to tell Carlos King about all the money he's dropped for Jennifer, how he bought her a Rolex and, he's bought a Rolls Royce for her and done all these things, but he has like nothing for the kids. If you watch the video, go to the playlist. There is a video of his mother, the child's mother, speaking. She talks about him not having supported the kids since then. She also talks about them being on food stamps. Sir, you gallivant around the world internationally and your kids is on food stamps. That's not cool. That's not okay. Yeah, to me, that's super trifling. So here's what happened on Monday. Monday, there was a hearing for abandonment, and that is because he has not financially supported the children in over 30 days, and he has not seen the children for over 30 days. And you can do either or. So what that means is if you have a father of your kid or a mother of your kid who, let's say they're not paying, but they actually pick the kid up when they're supposed to every, each time, or even within 30 days. Let's say they do it once every 30 days. In Georgia, it ain't abandonment. Even though they haven't paid, they could have not paid for a year. It doesn't fit abandonment because as long as you are at least visiting your kids or paying, if you're not visiting them, you have to do one or the other. You won't go to jail for abandonment. Here, he's done neither. But here's what happened at the hearing. Now, first of all, my question is Jennifer going to come, y'all? Is she going to come? Is she going to want to be up here? Oh, I was like, the ghetto. I don't think she's going to be there. Oh, by the way, the reason I'm dressed like this, y'all, is Halloween, and I'm legally blind, but black. I'm black, y'all. So I was like, is Jennifer going to come? Because it's kind of ghetto. But she's standing by her man, honey. My man. Let me tell you, the day my man gets dragged into child support court for abandonment is the day one of the two of us is going to pull out a checkbook and figure out how we can make it in some ways right. Maybe the mom was expecting $2,500. Maybe you don't have it. Maybe you have $500. At least walk up in there with some Pampers. You got some Pampers. I mean, we've got a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. Somebody is probably stealing some Pampers. Baby food, dog food, gift cards. How about a gift card? None of that occurred. So in the hearing, Jennifer is in there with her glasses. Oh, where are the shades? I ain't got no shades. All right. She's in there with her shades. Super cute. Now, mind you, the last time there was his arrest hearing for his probation violation, I recorded it. And the attorney actually was like, "In your honor, his lovely fiance, Jennifer Williams, is here." And she stands up like Miss America and she waved, and sat down. She wasn't like being exploited, but it was like an awkward, like, "Oh my God, you're making," and she sat down. There was no waving this time, okay? No Miss America wave. I like my reenactments, y'all. But she was there, as well as like his auntie who hates me. She wants to kill me. She wears her hair like Orphan Annie. It's like kind of orange. I think she did it herself, maybe in her kitchen. She dyes her hair this orange color, like Orphan Annie, and long like extensions. It's really cute. Like when I'm her age, I want to look that cute. And the auntie's husband was there, her uncle, and they were there, and they were supporting him. They were sitting behind him. And he goes in, and basically what happens is the judge says, "Well, I see different addresses here. Like, where does everyone live?" And he says, Christian is like, "Christian lives in Jennifer's house." Where do y'all live in that lady's house? I'm curious. I'm nobody. I'm a regular attorney in Texas. But even when I got engaged, I moved into his house. Because I was like, if you can't get a house, we just need to get some things together. We might need to get some. Now, mind you, the house had his mama's name on it too. But I'm just saying, I was not about to let no man move into my house, especially not no $6 million man. Because first of all, why are you moving in my house? My house is very regular. Anyway, so he acknowledged he lives in Jennifer's house. And it's a cute little townhouse. It's a very modest townhouse. Like if you drove past it, it's not like Marlowe's. It's not like Nini's old townhouse. It's a townhouse that you would expect like your local postmaster that works at your post office, him and his wife who's like, a school principal to live in. It's nice. It's not, but you don't park a Rolls Royce in front of that. You don't park a Rolls Royce in front of that. Your car should not be worth more than the equity in your house. Oh, I digress. What I'm saying is, so then they said, yeah, he lives in Jennifer's house. And then the mother of the children stated that she lives in Maryland. And the judge was like, well, wait a minute. And where are the kids? And she was like, they're with me. That's where her support system. She had been in Atlanta. So they had both been in Atlanta for years while they were going through this process. But with her not working, with him not supporting, with her having certain job opportunities back home in Maryland, and that being where her support system is, that's where she left. Tip number one, legal tip. If you are having a custody and or a child support dispute with your ex-partner, move first and then file in the county you want to move in. Otherwise, a lot of situations, the court won't let you move. Once a certain county is determined, you can't leave and move to any other county. Forget the state, but any other county unless you have your partner's consent. And you don't want to get in a situation where they're like, all right, I'll consent if you drop your child support request. No. I'll punch you in the face. No. So they were in different states. So ultimately, with the judge, okay. So then the judge had asked him about like, they talked about some logistics, but then ultimately the judge said, well, I got some good news, but I got some bad news. The bad news is that I don't have jurisdiction over this because you've moved. So basically you have to file it in a Maryland case. And then the judge did more digging to confirm, has he paid any support? And he confirmed, no, he ain't paid nothing. He hadn't paid anything since June. And even then, again, it was 4 months that he paid the $2,200. So then the judge was like, looks at the mom, was like, well, here's the good news. Now that he has moved and y'all are in 2 different states, abandonment is now a felony. So if you file in Maryland and he continues to not pay or see his kids, he's facing another felony, which potentially is a what? If you're a member of the jury, I call subscribers jurors, so join if you haven't. What happens when you catch another felony when you're on probation? It's a probation revocation. You risk your probation being revoked. So let's hope Mr. and Mrs. Gold do the right thing. We benefit none from having another man locked up where he can't go to work. Just do the right thing and pay your coins. Pay your coins. So it's it would be a probation violation. Now, mind you, he asked to get off probation early. He said, Your Honor, when Jennifer was there in the courthouse and she was doing her little Miss America wave, they had asked the court to both give him a travel pass and allow him to get off probation early, or if they weren't going to let him off early, at least give him a travel pass. The court said, we're not letting you off early, which means he has until next August. So that means between now and then, baby, you got to get your points together and you need to see your kids and support your kids. How about we do both? They have a lovely little YouTube channel where they're monetized it. They've got a large following, etc. So you're making coins. Why don't we buy a pamper? Just like one. How about more than one? One would be insulting. Actually, if I had children and you mailed me a single pamper, I would want to fight you, but I can't fight. So I'll probably send one of my cousins. My one cousin, Ronnie, he could fight real good. I will send Ronnie to your house. But I want you to see this. So speaking of their YouTube channel, apparently some of you jurors have been over there making comments that are not celebratory. Your comments are like, what about the kids? And all of the facts that we discussed here. And thank you again. Hit that like button as you come on in. Y'all have questions. Well, on one of them, I found it really interesting, but kind of disappointing. Now, I can't tell if this is Sassy Christian because I say sassy because you all know I'm also going through a dispute with him. He has filed to get me disbarred. That's an additional video. You can watch it in the playlist. You can go to the playlist on my channel. Go to my channel where there's videos and stuff. Click playlist. He's filed to get me disbarred. I don't know if it's him or if it's Jennifer, but this comment, I couldn't leave without us addressing it. So a person commented, because this is them talking about their life and how nice it is and fancy and extravagant, as they sit there in her house. That has a mortgage, by the way. There is nothing, not a thing wrong with a mortgage. I'm just saying, you got a $600,000 mortgage, which she's paying down. So I'm not saying that's the dollar amount that's owed today. And then you got a $400,000 car allegedly from a man who can't afford $2,200 in child support a month for 2 kids. Something in the milk ain't clean, Bookie. Something in the milk ain't clean. So here's the comment. Somebody writes, nice ring. Either Jen bought it for herself or CG needs to sell it and pay his child support. I think this is Jen. Jen then writes, what makes you think there's a child support order? Because a YouTube you listen to online? Here's the thing. It sounds like here, their argument is because the court hasn't ordered a specific dollar amount, I don't have to pay it. Here's the problem, bozo. You've been dodging service of the child support case for over a year. She has been trying to serve you since 2022 from the records. Okay. Then you get served in June and you keep postponing. You do everything but pay something. Here's the thing. I totally understand people saying, I don't want to pay outside of the courts because I might not get credit for that. That's absolutely a valid concern. But here, where he already drafted an agreement, there is a written document. I've seen it. There is a written agreement he wrote that says, this is how much I'm going to pay, and these are the terms and conditions. And he was actually doing that. He was paying pursuant to those for at least 4 months. Why not just continue to pay that with the understanding you can put on the memo, paid in full. You can put on the memo, paid pursuant to our agreement. And therefore, you're going to get credit every month. The problem and where you don't get credit is that instead of paying $1, like a set amount each month, 1 month you cash out for some Pampers. 1 month you cash out for some baby wipes. You can't do that, no. But if you're sending a set amount, yes, absolutely, you can get credit. So I just think it's just trifling to be like, oh, well, we don't have a child support order in place, so I don't have to pay anything. Put a comment in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you or someone you know pays child support without an order. See, there are a lot of men out here who would love to be in a relationship with someone who's like, they would agree to not put them on child support through the courts if they just pay consistently every month on time, all the time, a reasonable amount that the two of them agreed. Most people prefer that. Most people do not actually want the court in their business. You had that. And the question becomes, why is it that now this $2,200 isn't available? But here's the thing. There's a lot of people that are saying Christian ain't got it no more. Remember, he wrote the bar complaint against me, which is a public document, revealing that he settled with multiple victims. Well, with the settlements that I've seen, what he coordinated was payment plans. And I've also seen many angry people because he has not been paying people pursuant to those payment plans. I actually personally, I don't know anyone that he is, that he is paid according to the payment plan. Thank you. We got a whole bunch of people in the chat. Linda Roming, Cinda Parker, Kimberly Russell. All these people are like, yeah, we all know people who just pay their child support because their child needs support. They don't actually need the court to order anything. Laura Williams said, we all knew that boy was a con. I think Jennifer knew too. So I have no sympathy for this girl. Yeah, so he's a broke scammer. Yes. And Jacqueline Harris says, yes, you know, someone, she said, you never went to courts in your life. Never, ever. No, it's ridiculous. So in the end, so here's what's going on. Now, Christian basically has got about 30 days to start supporting these babies. And he can wait all he wants, but he's going to have to put up some support. Otherwise, if the mom files, and I'm sure she will, in Maryland for abandonment of the children for failure to pay child support or failure to visit, he will now be facing felony charges and will be risking a probation revocation, which means he could go back to jail. This is the learning channel. It's infotainment, edutainment. I want you to learn things, but also have a good time. So if you know anyone in that situation where the father of their kids hasn't supported or seen the kids for a month, you should check with your state laws, see if that person qualifies to file for abandonment. So thanks for tuning in. I'm your legal bestie. Remember, you can go to SimoneRedwine.com to schedule a consult with me, and drop below in the chat any other topics you want me to cover. I've covered the love of this blind contract, girl. That contract is trifling. You know, they only make $1,000 a week and a bunch of other stuff in there. I also talk about in that video how they can't just get divorced when they want to. It's like a whole complex thing. But yes, let me know other topics that you want me to cover down below in the chat. And thanks so much for tuning in. Happy Halloween. Legally blonde. Well, legally black. Very black. Lightly melanated, hella black. Y'all have a great Halloween.